Morning. Well, at least I can see that. Difficulty seeing that. Very, very quickly, briefly, I've only got 45 minutes, so I'm going to do the best I possibly can. I joined Forever over 28 years ago, June 95. I was, reasonably successful businessman before that. During the recession of the early 90s, which is a lot of people in the room won't even know what that means, I lost everything I'd built over 20 years. I lost everything. And I was starting again from scratch in my kind of early 40s. Didn't know what I was going to do. Guy gave me a call. Would you come like to have a look at the business opportunity? I said yes. Drove through those gates, having in my brain said, this is not going to be for me. I know what it's going to be. I know it's network marketing. I've seen this stuff before. Don't get me wrong, I was impressed with network marketing, but I wasn't impressed with the companies that I'd seen doing it. And I thought, yeah, no. So I sat down on the front row and basically thought, I'm going to say to Mike, thanks Mike, but no thanks. Until I saw the information about Forever, and that just changed everything. So really in brief, what happened that day was that I saw other people in the room who were presenting and guests like me, but the people who were presenting, I thought, well, if they can do it, I can do it. That was my first thought. The other things that I thought about, and bear this in mind, it is important if you're talking to people who have a business background, I saw a business where I didn't need any premises. I didn't need any stock. I didn't need to employ anybody, which I'd done over years, and there was hardly any paperwork. I found that out a little bit later, but I could see, well, there can't be that much paperwork involved in this business. So those are the things that really, really attracted me. But the main thing was the product. I'd never heard of aloe vera. No idea what it was. Never mind, you could drink it. So this information I gathered on that day about aloe fascinated me. I thought, I need to start drinking that stuff. And I did, and I've never stopped for 28 years. I came to trainings like this in those days. So, where you're sitting now, I was sitting 28 years ago, thinking, right, okay, I've got to learn all this, I've got to do all this, and, sometimes it might be a bit overwhelming for some. But this business is a very, 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 very simple business, as long as you're prepared to tell people about it. And that's the issue that Chris shared with you. I didn't have that issue because the benefit I got from the products almost instantly, within a few weeks, just did it for me. I thought, I need to tell people about this. I need to tell people about this amazing stuff called aloe vera. Because back in those days, not like now, people had never heard those words. Aloe vera, what's that? Unless you'd had somebody who'd been on holiday to the Caribbean and used it topically on sunburn, which I actually had, a friend who'd done that, you got to get over that hurdle. Well, what is this stuff, this wacky cactus juice? It's not a cactus, we know, but this wacky juice, what is it all about? We don't have that hurdle today. Does that make sense? It's easier for you guys who are just starting out because people understand aloe. They've seen it advertised everywhere. It seems to be in everything these days. Yeah, toilet rolls, washing powder, it's in everything, Don't ask me why that is, I've no idea. But when we heard many, many years ago that in America they were doing toilet roll with aloe vera, we were just, didn't we, Louise? We just laughed. Dusty showed us the photographs of this toilet roll with aloe. And of course now it's in all our supermarkets, isn't it? Has been for a long time. So I pressed that button. Oh, you don't need that slide, do you? Let's go to this one. This is the important stuff. So, what is a case credit worth? Actual value of a case credit. Well, here it says approximately £200 at wholesale, 286 at retail. Now this varies throughout the world, so don't think that this price, if you do if you want to look at how much is in France, don't do the exchange rate because they're all different prices because different countries have different import duties. So this is the UK. 4 cc's is the building block for the business. Now what happened to me was that Mike said to me, as we were going through this process, I was coming here every week and he only lived just down the road, and we were going through the process and he was coaching me and I was coming to the trainings. But first thing he said to me, he said, actually what you need to do now is create a 4 cc retail business. And that's exactly what I did. I just went and did it. I didn't ask any questions, I just went and did it. And that really stood me in very good stead, because guess what? Those 4 cc's of retail, and it went to 5, then it went to 6, then it went to 7. You know, don't worry, you don't have to do this. This is just my experience. I needed the money. So the more products I sold, the more money I made, and I needed cash in my pocket. So I could come here, buy the product, go and sell it, and make some money. So that's how I started. And I got to Supervisor within 5 weeks. Again, you don't have to do that, but it's just if you want to get it going quickly, it can be done at speed, especially these days with the way we share information through new technologies. We didn't have any of that in those days. It was on the phone or talking to somebody face to face. So that's what I did. And I averaged about, including my own personal use, which wasn't very much because I hadn't got any money, I averaged between, you know, in the first year, about 9 to 11 cc's per month. Most of that was moving product, sponsoring 1 or 2 people and getting bonuses as a result. But it's a business building discipline. It's so important, you see how we go through this, to be 4 cc active every single month. So, what happens is that it starts to create an income coming into you, a few £100s a month coming into you. Now, the benefit I found from doing this, talking to people and moving product, was what they got sent back to me, what the feedback I got from them, what benefit they were getting from the product. And it was amazing. You know, mostly family members and friends and people that I knew. But then what happened was they started to actually refer people to me. I mean, you need to speak to Ashley, talk to him about aloe. You know, if they've got a health issue or whatever. And that's really the process that I went through. And it was very, very educational for me, because it wasn't just my personal experience of the product, it was lots of other people, and that continued throughout the early years of people coming up to me, not here but in other countries, and saying, wow, let me tell you what aloe's done for me. And it builds your confidence to a point where you realise, hang on a minute, these are the best products in the world. These products cannot be beaten by any other company. Forever is the aloe vera company, but when you learn how they research and develop other products not related to aloe, it just blows your mind. You know, Louise and I have been to Aloe Vera of America in Dallas many times. We've been to Forever Nutraceuticals in Phoenix many times, and we've seen the process actually happening and the products being manufactured. And when you see the detail that they go into, it really is just absolutely amazing. So how do we do it? Personal use. You know, Louise and I now, well, certainly when we had all the children living at home, we've got 5 kids, you know, we used to use probably 4 cc's worth of product, you know, eventually when we could afford to buy that kind of product. And obviously through getting others involved and through getting others hooked on aloe, because very often we say, sometimes I'm joking and I say to people, my name's Ashley and I'm an aloeholic. And yeah, that's what it creates, a bit of a laugh. But also, obviously, you make income through recruitment, and you'll see as we go through this. And 4 cc is important. This is why it's important, because you need to be 4 cc active to access all your downline bonuses. That's the importance of this. We have to be doing work. You know, there's a lot of misinformation about network marketing, a lot of misinformation like, oh, what you got to do is sign people up and just sit back on the beach and they'll make all the money for you. No. Yeah. All this business about is a recruitment scam. This business is about moving product. That's what we do. We market the product. That's why it's called network marketing. And the key is moving product. If you're not moving product, if your team isn't moving product, guess what? You're not going to make 1 penny. It's about the movement of product. So, unlocking the potential of the marketing plan. First of all the bonuses that are paid to us are paid on a basis of the net value, not including VAT, per case credit, if that makes sense. And it's roughly about £238. 286 is the retail price. If you take the VAT off that, all our bonuses are worked on that. So it's 5% of that, or it's 8% of that, or it's 13% of that, or it's 18% of that. And you'll see that as we go through. The great thing about Forever's marketing plan, and there are lots of uniquenesses in the plan, as there is with their products, is that you don't go down. This is not a game of snakes and ladders. Most network marketing companies, what happens is, if you build a turnover and you get to a bonus level, and then your turnover drops below that bonus level, guess what? Your bonuses drop. That doesn't happen with Forever. Once you hit a bonus level, that's yours for life. It's a global opportunity. You can build this business anywhere in about 150 countries around the world. I've covered that that point. Your income and promotions are down to you. If it's to be, it's up to me. That should be your mantra. Yeah? It's not down to other people. It's about you helping other people to see this for what it really is, to explain it in detail once you understand it. And of course they can come here and get the detail, but it's about you talking to people and taking people through the process. Do you know the great thing about our business is that right from day one, we're helping people with their health and well-being. If that's all we do, that's great. We've got ourselves a customer. But when we help people see the business opportunity, what are we doing? We're changing people's lives, literally. Rex Morn changed, well, I don't know how you can put a figure on it, hundreds of thousands, millions of lives with the product, but also with the business opportunity itself. Rex, we got to know Rex very well, very well. We knew him well for 40 years. Not 40 years, sorry, I beg your pardon. That's wrong. He was in the business, he was in the business 43 years, he died in 21. So we knew Rex for what, Louise, 25, 6 years. We've probably got to know him over that period of time. And it was a joy to be around him. But he started this business. He wanted to create his own business. I'm not going to bore you with his story, but he knew he was a corporate guy, but he wanted his own business. He wanted his independence. He wanted to be his own boss. What was he going to do? Well, you know what he did. He started Forever Living. But what he did was he didn't just produce aloe and sell it through Walmart. He produced aloe and gave it to people to sell so they could make a living. Yeah? It's okay giving somebody a fish to feed that person. If you give them a fishing rod, what happens? They can get their own fish every single day. That was, you know, that's straight from Rex. We teach people how to fish and we don't have to keep giving them fish. You can't be made redundant. Nobody's going to tell you, sorry, you haven't got a job anymore, you can't earn any income. And that was one thing that really, really hit home to me, is that nobody can take this income off you. Nobody. Excuse me, I'm going to have a quick slurp. By the way, you shouldn't drink aloe straight out of the bottle. No, you shouldn't, honestly. The way, because of the bacteria gets around the top and will ultimately affect the aloe. But the minis, you're okay drinking these because I'll drink this probably in the next, half an hour, yeah? Does that make sense? So don't do what I'm doing unless you've got a mini.
Or you're going to drink the whole liter.
Oh yeah, I've got customers that do that. Anyway. And your ID is a willable asset. So, let's get into it. Assistant supervisor. I've got notes here, by the way, but I probably don't need them. Right. You're an assistant supervisor, you've come into Forever, you bought a box. Yeah? With that box, you get an international business license. So you can trade here and you can trade virtually all across the Forever world. So what you get now is, when you buy your box, you get a 5% discount. Yeah, when you buy the box, your sponsor will get the rest of that, the other 25%, because everything's based on that 30%. So you're going to be making a 30% profit on every single product that you retail. Does that make sense? So when you sponsor somebody in as an assistant supervisor, your bonus would be £45. That's that 25% of the cost of the box, 25%. So just bear that in mind as I go through this. Your bonus is a basic bonus of £45, which is paid into your account on the 10th, the 20th and 30th of each month. So it goes straight into your bank account from Forever, and every time you sponsor somebody, you'll get that money very, very quickly. So let's have a look at what the profit is on a bottle of gel. And you can see that for yourself. You'll see the wholesale price, the retail price, the profit is £7.81. As you go through the process and you're earning extra bonuses, that will increase. For every cc you retail, £85 profit. I mean, bear in mind, this is ish, £85. It could be a few pence more than that or 1 or 2 pence less. It's all rounded up. And these figures are actually generated from gel, from actual gel drinks, because every product has different case credit values, but you'll see an example on the screen of the kind of turnover you could expect to do to create, let's say, a 3cc turnover business, as this example gives you. So, if you're retailing 3 case credits, your profit's going to be £255. If you sponsor someone, an extra 45, so you've earned £300. So when we say people can start at the very beginning and earn a few £100s a month, that's an example of how you can earn that. Does that make sense? And if you know people who need an opportunity, need to make an extra kind of income, a bit of leisure income, or they want to earn household income, or they want to replace their salary type income, then you can show them how that's possible over time. So what we've got here is an example of when you're an assistant supervisor, but you are active. So now you've gone from blue to orange, yeah? So this is an example of the profit you make on a bottle of gel, and then the bonuses you make on top of that, yeah? So every cc you retail will give you £97 profit, yeah? So 3 cc's is now going to give you that almost £300 a month. Does that make sense? So I've got lots of notes here, and it's important that I share these with you. When you actually do this, you've got to look at the percentages and make sure the percentages make sense. Yeah? By the way, I'm doing this quickly, so if you've got any questions, I won't take them now, but afterwards just come and see me. If you've got any questions, how does this work, how does that work, then I'm quite happy to, I'll be here all day, so just come up to me and ask me those questions. But it is important to understand the percentages so you can explain it to somebody else. Does that make sense? So ultimately, it is important for you to understand the marketing plan enough, and it is, once you understand it, it's very, very simple, and it can be drawn out in many different ways. But you can show somebody literally within 10 or 15 minutes how the money is actually earned. Because that's the question, is how do you earn money from this? How can I create an income? Again, it's all about the movement of product. So what happens here, now you see on this example, you've now actually sponsored 3 people. They're all in the blue, so they're assistant supervisors, not active. So now you will earn a 5% bonus on all the turnover of that team, on all the people that are not active for 4 cc's. Does that make sense? That's yes, that's no. Okay. So again, this is just an example of how your business could look at this stage. So sponsoring 3 people, you can create a nice little income, obviously from your retail and obviously from the bonuses that Forever are going to pay you. Now, Forever's bonuses are paid on the 15th of the month. So the additional bonuses you get when you sponsor someone, and also the bonuses that you receive from your downline activity. This is a team leading bonus. It's a helping bonus, because you're helping your team, coaching your team, passing on information, passing on experience, and Forever are paying you a team leading bonus. Now, I think at this stage it's important to understand how this works. When I saw Forever, and I know a lot of people have said, oh, I didn't really understand it, but I knew you just had to get involved. You know, it was something somebody said, I needed to do it, but I didn't quite understand it. I hear that all the time. Well, I'm not one of those people. I understood it immediately. I understood the marketing plan straight away because of my business background. I'm actually from a retail background originally. So all the percentages they talked about were in the parameters that I've been used to for many, many years when I started working for a living. I understood all these percentages. They didn't. Does that make sense? You know, people say, one thing that sometimes people say is, oh, network marketing companies, they put up the price so they can pay their distributors. Sorry? What are you talking about? You've just got to understand the percentages. Yeah? If you knew the percentages that Holland and Barrett were making in all their products, you would be absolutely astounded. Yeah? So, that's the point I'm making. It fitted within the parameters that I'd always been used to. Boom. We get paid the money that would normally go to a normal distribution type, company who are distributing products similar to ours, because of all the people they've got to employ, because of all the salesmen they've got on the road or people they've got in shops. We get that paid because Forever supply us and we supply the end user. That's it. So we get all that stuff in between, all the wholesale profits and everything else. Yeah? Does that make sense to you? So please don't be, when you look at the percentages, is that all I've got?
No, you're halfway.
I'm halfway, thank you. I thought you said 10 minutes. Right, okay. So, so this for me, this is important to understand in its simplest form is Tesco, McDonald's, Morrison's. Why are they so successful? Why have they got multi-billion-pound businesses? What's the reason? Apart from all the obvious. The main reason is duplication. They duplicate what they do. Cohen, who started Tesco from a barrow in a market, then went into a shop. He thought, oh, this works. So then he opened another shop, then he opened another shop, then he opened another shop, and then another one, another one. And now there are thousands of them, not just in the UK. Does that make sense? That's what we do. When we're bringing people into the business, it's another shop that we're opening, because that person will be using moving product and hopefully, if they want to, build teams. That's what we do. That's why Forever is a multi-billion-dollar business, because all over the world, there's lots of people with their own shop. And of course now, when you join Forever, you get an international business license and you get a free online shop. You haven't got to set it all up. You've been on the online shop, haven't you? How much do you think that would cost you to set up as an individual? How much do you think, how many thousands of pounds would it cost you to set that up? And you get it for free through Forever. Next slide. Right. You got. Hopefully you'll understand that once you've got the 4cc habit, everything else is possible. Yeah? And in actual fact, once you get to the next level, which is Supervisor, once you've got to this level, you can build a business of any size. Because hopefully by this point you will have understood how it all works and how to explain it to somebody else in simple terms. Don't blind them too much with science. So, you're a supervisor now. Let me look at my notes. Right, I've got notes in two places, but there you go. Right, supervisor. You're now turquoise. Is that turquoise on the screen? You're a turquoise. You've gone from orange and you're now turquoise. 25 case credits is required. To do that over 2 consecutive months would normally mean, generally speaking, like a 10cc turnover 1 month, let's say November, 15 the next month, December, you're a supervisor in the business. Yeah? Once you've got to that position, that's it. You've got it for life. And you're on 38%. Now what happens now, and this is very, very important, is before when you're an assistant supervisor and you may be 4cc active some months and not other months, yeah, that 5% drops in and out, doesn't it? Yeah, in and out, in and out. When you're a supervisor, you're fixed at that 38%. So when you buy the product from Forever, you don't buy it at 30%, you buy it from the product centre or online at 38%. Yeah, that's fixed. So now, your personal profit on a 1cc is £105. 3cc's is now quite a bit over £300, plus any extra bonuses you get from sponsoring people into your team. And you get an 8% team leading bonus. So, all the people in your team, which is the next bit, there you go, that's just an example of a typical supervisor business. So you've got people who are, turquoise, you've got people who are orange and people who are blue. Does that make sense? So on people that are orange, your bonus will be 3%, and on the people that are blue, it's 8%. Yeah? Because it's all based on 38%. Now again, this is an analogy that I saw immediately, just like the analogy I gave you about having a shop. The more product you buy, if you've got a shop, the more product you buy from Heinz, the bigger your discount you get. Yeah? So if you've got 10 shops, you're going to get a bigger discount on all the Heinz products you buy for your 10 shops, other than having one. Forever look at it in exactly the same way, because all this business is your business, it's your turnover, and they'll pay you based on 38%. Yeah? So, £105 profit, and you can see now from the bottle of gel, it's £9.55 profit every time you move a bottle of gel to a retail customer. Yeah, does that make sense? And you can see the percentages, people, the CCs that they're doing. And you can see how you're now gathering momentum from supervisor to get to that assistant manager position. Because what's this all about, really? Manager. Because that's where all the fun is. And that's where the most money is made. So you get to manager and you can access everything that Forever has to offer. Everything. Let's continue. Assistant manager, you're now green. You've gone from turquoise, you're now green. And your bonus is fixed at 43%. You need 75 CCs to do this over 2 consecutive months. So probably like 31 month and 45 the next, yeah? You can do it any way you like, but just to give you an idea. Once you get to a 30 cc turnover, then you're doing what we call a base month for supervisor, and then all you got to do is keep on building and get to that assistant manager level. So now you're making 116 on every CC that you retail. Excuse me, I'm having some more aloe. I've had my fab, now I'm having my aloe. Okay, so, and again the profit on the gel goes up. It's now over £10. And this again would be a typical look for your assistant manager business. You can see obviously you've got some greens, you've got some blues, you've got some turquoise, and you've got some orange. It's a nice colour mix, isn't it? You know? £116 profit now on every CC that you move. Is all this making sense? Are you kind of understanding this? If you don't, please come and see me at some point, and anything you're stuck on, I'll explain it to you. But basically now you're buying all your product at 43% discount. So when you go to the product centre, order online, you get 43% off then at source. And you're making 13% team leading bonus on your assistant supervisors that are not 4cc active. You're making 8% on your active assistant supervisors. Yeah, do you get that? It's all based on 43%. Because now you're buying a lot more product to your team. It's buying a lot more product, just like if you had a shop selling Heinz baked beans. Okay? So, this is the big one. Getting to supervisor. No, actually, no, that wasn't a Freudian slip. That was, the big one is, it is all about getting to supervisor, because get to supervisor and you can get to this point. It's just some more time, some more effort. Keep on doing what you're doing. Just keep it simple. Keep on finding customers. Keep on finding people to join your team. And this can be done at your speed, by the way. There's nobody, and your sponsor certainly shouldn't be doing this, is forcing you or pushing you to do more stuff. This is your business. You build it at your speed. Yeah? And please be patient. If it's not happening as quickly as you'd like it to, please stop for a moment and just be patient. We learnt this, Louise and I learnt this very, very early on. You have to be patient with yourself, and you have to be patient with the people in your team.
Amen to that.
Yeah, for me, it's one of the golden rules in this business. So now you're on 48%. Wow, that's the highest discount level, 48%. So when you buy product from the product centre or you order it online, you immediately get 48% off. And you'll see that when you go on your online shop. You'll see this, by the way, because it'll have the retail price crossed out, the wholesale price crossed out. Sorry, the retail price crossed out, and it'll tell you your price. Yeah, whether you're a supervisor, assistant manager, or you're a manager, it'll give you your price, and you'll see £128 now you can earn by retailing 1 case credit's worth of product. By the way, this is all based on gel, because different products have different CC values. So these examples are all given to you on the price of the gel. So let's have a look at a manager business. Well, there you go. Because you've now got blue people, you've got yellow people, you've got some yellow people, you've got some orange people, you've got some turquoise people, you've got some green, you've got all the colours now. You're a manager and you've got people in all positions throughout the whole of your team. The important thing is now that when you sponsor someone, you are now going to be getting £77 as a bonus when you sponsor somebody. Yeah, 45 will be paid straight into your account immediately, 10, 20, 30 of the month. The other percentage, the rest of it, will be paid, the 13% will be paid actually on your recap and the money transferred into your account the middle of the following month. Yeah? And by the way, in 28 years, Forever have never missed a payment. In fact, in 45 years, they've never missed a payment. And you think back when Rex first started the business, all this stuff that we get this lovely printout was all done by pencil. It was all pencil on form. Crazy. So, typical incomes here, £800 to £2,000 per month, typical incomes. But this is the important thing to remember. Don't think that just because you've now got a manager pin, you're going to be earning £1,500 a month or £2,000 a month. It's not going to happen like that. Because you can get to manager now much earlier by doing 120 over 2 months or 150 over 3 to 4 months. So in actual fact now, this was changed a few years ago, you only have to be doing about 37, 38 case credits a month for 4 months to become a manager. So if that's your turnover, your income's not going to be 1,500. It'll be several hundred, but it won't be 1,500. Does that make sense? So I hear this again, I hear it a lot. Oh, I'm a manager now, where's all my money? Because they were told early on that if they're a manager, they might be earning average like £1,500 a month. It's all based on your turnover. Yeah, if you're doing 60, 70 cases a month, yeah, you can make it's a great income. I know, because we did it. By the way, we didn't do it quickly. I told you we went manager, I went supervisor in less than 5 weeks. It took me like 2 years to go manager. 2 years. Well, just a bit under, but like 22, 23 months. So, you know, we weren't one of these people that goes, oh, like that immediately. We, for reasons I won't bother you with, but it just took us time. We had to be patient with ourselves and also with our team. So now what's happening is your team leading bonus on your non-active assistant supervisors is 18%. Yeah? And then you'll get the other percentages on your, you know, supervisors and assistant managers. Does that make sense? Yeah. Again, all based around 48%. Now, the profit margin on our products, if we compare our products to say what Holland & Barrett sell, they make a lot more profit than that. Their percentage profits is way, way higher than that. People, if you're not involved in retail, you might not know, but one of the best examples I can give you is Asda, many, many years ago, did a promotion for sunscreen. Buy the sunscreen, and we're going to give, it was either £100, it was either, what was it? It was either £1 or £2 per sunscreen to this charity. And they sold loads of sunscreen. When you took off what they were giving to the charity, they still made 200% profit. Because they have to. What do you think it costed from one of those Asda stores or a Tesco store? This is the thing, Forever don't have that. They don't have to give people that kind of discount to sell their products in stores. They give it to us. Anyway, £128 now is the profit per cc, and now £11.72 when you sell a bottle of gel at retail. Wow. You impressed? Anyone can get to manager. Anyone. If they're prepared to listen, learn, get the experience and persevere, be motivated to continue, anyone can get to manager. What happens after that? Well, this is kind of what floated my boat, certainly. When you start to develop managers, then you're paid a different kind of income. It comes every month on the 15th, just the same, it's the same bonus, but now you're paid differently. So Forever now pay you a 6% bonus on whatever a first generation manager turns over, based on that retail, not including that obviously. And here, the example is £15,000 a month turnover in that manager business. Yeah, so bear this in mind. It's 15,000. It's not 7 or 8,000. It's 15,000 based on if you go manager in 2 months, like we've all done. All the people in this room have all done manager in 2 months, and that's the kind of income you can expect. But if you're doing it over 3 to 4 months, then your turnover probably isn't going to be the same. So please bear that in mind. All based on CC turnover. But if this manager turns over £15,000 a month, then you'll get 6% that, which is £900. Does that make sense? Because you've helped that person go through the whole process and forever now paying you a small percentage of the turnover of their business to give you the incentive to find more managers. And it's all built into the plan. It's all built in. The percentages are all built in. And what happens then is, Bill sponsors somebody, Joe, 3% is paid, which would equate to 450. And John comes in, and John, you get paid, you're the one in blue, under the, over the managers there, 2%. So that would equate to £300 if the turnover is 1,500. Does that make sense? 15,000, sorry. Now, if the turnover is 10,000 at that stage, obviously these percentages would be marginally less. You know, the pound, sorry, the percentages stay the same, but the pound to you would be, less. Does that make sense? Again, I'm just emphasising the fact, please don't think just because you've got a manager pin, you'll be earning that. Or when I get to the next slide, if you're a senior manager, you'll be earning that. It all depends on your turnover. It doesn't just come because you're wearing a pin, like you've got a promotion at work and they're giving you extra money every month. It all comes from the movement of product. Does everybody understand that? We don't get paid on the 4th level. It goes 3 manager levels deep. That means that everyone gets the same opportunity to do exactly the same as you. Now, some network marketing plans, they go down and down and down and down and down. I look at them and I go, no. Because they pay the biggest percentages on the 10th level. And guess what? Hardly anyone ever reaches the 10th level. Crazy. This is a very simple stair step. It's called a stair step breakaway. And network marketing experts and economists all over the world, they all agree it's the best model in network marketing is stair step, not the binary or any other highfalutin something that someone's come up with that no one understands. So what have you got here? Basically, you've got your income, which we've got here, £15,000 a month turnover. Your income would be about £1,600-ish. And then basically, if you add on one leg like this, one line, it's just an example, then your income would be between 2,500 and 3,500. Does that make sense? So if people that you're talking to want to replace their full-time income or the profit from a business they've got, you can show them how potentially they can earn 2.5 to 3.5 part-time, and then maybe move from what they're doing into forever. But imagine if you had got 5 minutes left, so I'll try my best. Imagine if you'd got several of these lines. Yeah? If you say you got 5 and you multiply those incomes by 5, just as an example, that's when you see the larger incomes coming in to forever, to FBOs who have got the pin positions. No, it's okay. Very, very quickly, senior manager and beyond. And this is really just an example of you having 2 people that you've helped to get to manager. Senior manager will make somewhere between 29 and 61,000. There's a big difference, isn't there? Because some are new senior managers and just started, some are older, more experienced and have been in the business longer. Soaring managers, where you've got 5 frontline managers, 45 to 104, Sapphire 75 to 168, you can read it, Diamond Sapphire 140 to 228, and Diamond Manager 350,000 and above. Now, do you think you can earn £350,000 from this business ultimately? You've got to believe you can. And if you want to retire 100,000 or 150,000, you can. You've got you've got that income, that ongoing income coming into your business as long as you're 4cc active. However, when you get to Diamond, guess what? You don't need to be 4cc active. Anyway, that's just an aside. Why senior manager? When you get to manager and senior manager, everything opens up. Global travel. Louise and I have been on over 50 all expenses paid trips with Forever over the 28 years, 27 years for Louise that we've been involved. Over 50 all expenses paid. And a lot of those you get spending money. You get £1,000, £2,000, you know, depending on your position. Chairman's bonus opens up to you. That's the annual bonus scheme, which you need to know about. Eagle Manager, where I think they've just come back, haven't they, Diana, from Eagle, from Pattaya, is it they've been? So we've got these 2 global trips every year. The Global Rally, we've been on 21 or 22 global rallies from all over the world. We came back from Bali in May. We had a fantastic 2 weeks there. The first week was all paid for by Forever, 5-star accommodation, and then we decided to stay on. We moved up to the top of the island and we stayed there for another week, and we travelled around, and we just had the most amazing time, which we always do. Forever to Drive is the earned incentive. So again, you need to know about Forever to Drive, how you qualify for that. It's CC turnover. You and the whole of your team, once you get to that, we've been on Forever to Drive now for 23 years or 20, something like that. No, longer than that, 25 years. But 25 years. And we get that incentive in 2 countries. We have one big business in the Netherlands, in Europe, the Benelux countries. So we get that extra payment every single month in 2 countries, not just the UK.